What's up, YouTube? Prof Sales coming at you with a video. It is June 6th, 2017 on a Tuesday, and I hope you guys are doing well. We are off and running here on the big show, the big Prof Sales YouTube show. Must feel so weird saying that. Let me know, guys, in the chat if you can hear me okay. Make sure our audio is good. I see me talking. And I'll assume it's good, but you never know. So we'll let the room fill up. How's everybody doing today? How you feeling? It's June. It's sunny. The summer's coming. It's that time of year. Love it. And, you know, things are going well here. First things first, Karen is not with me. So for those of you who came to see her today, I'm sorry. She is actually she's actually taking young Ben to earn some more money for his mission trip in Haiti, and which is coming up in about 2 weeks. So he's mowing yards and doing lawn and doing yard work. They got out of school early for exams and so on. So she's actually taking him to a couple places this afternoon so they can earn a few bucks and be able to go on his mission trip here in, I guess it's like 2 weeks. Lots of people in the room. Henry's here. What's up, Henry? Purple Lily, Stephanie, Shanta, Vicky, Michelle, Philip, Deborah, D, Leisure Picker. Philip Metzner says the works just fine. Cool. So we're going to jump into this topic here in just a second, guys, because this is something I've been thinking about the last, I don't know, 24, 48 hours. And I saw a story I want to share with you guys. Some of you may have seen this story, but I think it definitely, we can apply this story and we can apply some learnings from it to our eBay business or Amazon business or reselling business, really anything. But yeah, so I watched this. Well, I guess watch is not the right word. I saw this story came up. You guys get these stories that come up on your Facebook feed, or you get an email, and you know, probably 99 out of 100 of them, I don't watch. I don't really check out. I don't find they're that interesting. They're just a big time suck, and they can really, you know, be addictive, and you don't really get much out of them. But I have a soft spot. The prof has a soft spot. And this is going to sound weird because I have a soft spot for something might be unexpected. I have a soft spot for people who climb mountains. Let's just say, for lack of a better word. And now, disclaimer, I do not climb mountains. I don't really particularly like heights. I will go up in a tall building. I don't particularly like flying that much, not because of the height, but just because I don't like having any control over my situation. I don't like going near a ledge. You know, I'll do it if I have to do it, but I'm not a big fan of it. I think most people have somewhat of a little fear of height, of falling. So, but I like stories about people who climb mountains, who climb rocks, obstacles, and so on. And I think you may have some of you may remember, we watched a documentary a few months ago called Meru, which is a mountain in the Himalayas that these three guys climbed. And the first time they tried to climb it, they had a big tragedy. And the second time they actually made it. And it's a great documentary. If you get a chance, watch. I think it's on Netflix, or actually it's on Amazon. Meru, M-E-R-U. Check it out. Great story. And the cinematography is amazing because they shoot the videos. They're going up the mountain. But this story came up the other day about this guy who climbed El Capitan. So for those of you who don't know, and I'd heard of that mountain before, it's basically a big rock wall in Yosemite Park in, what is that, California? And it's about 3,000 feet high of just rock. I mean, it is just rock. And let me share this story with you guys so you can see this, so you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm going to do a quick screen share. Now, for those of you who don't like heights, you might want to turn away. So this is the mountain, and this is the guy. His name is his name is Alex Honnold. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. And you can see in this video, there actually is going to be video of this. Someone did take a video, but he's climbing this rock wall. But I want you guys to notice something. I'm going to zoom in. If I can get this to, I want you to notice something. Do you notice what's missing in this photo? Anybody notice? No ropes. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if somebody told me I had to go climb a rock wall, which by the way is 3,000 feet high, I would, there's no way in the world I would do it, first of all. You'd literally have to drag me there. And second of all, if I did, why in the world would I do it without ropes? Well, here's the thing, guys. This particular rock wall in El Capitan has never been climbed before without ropes. No one's ever done it. As a matter of fact, not a lot of people do it with ropes. It's very difficult. And this guy, he's I think he's about 31 years old. He lives in a van. This is a great story. And he's a rock climber. This is what he does. He climbs cliffs and rocks. And he decided to go tackle this. He did it with almost no one knowing about it, which I thought was interesting. And he made it. This happened on Memorial Day, I think. He climbed this 3,000-foot wall in about 4 hours with no ropes. Now, I don't have to tell you guys, if you fall from that height or really much lower, it's over, right? I mean, you're not surviving. So I saw this story, and this guy, this interests me because I love these stories. And there you see a picture of him. Sorry, these stupid ads are coming up. There you see a picture of him, Alex, climbing up there. He's kind of a mild-mannered guy, very quiet, introverted, but you get him on a rock wall and he's crazy. You know, he'll climb past anything. But I wanted to share a quote with you guys. Now, this ties into our topic here in a second. And they call this the moon landing of free soloing. Free soloing just means he climbed it without gear, without safety gear. And he did it alone. It was just him. And there you can see him looking. There you can see him looking over the edge after he gets to the top. There he is doing another. I think this might be a different rock wall, but it might be the one. He actually sticks his hands, guys, in the crevices and then takes his other hand out in his feet and walks up another step. So the hand, his arm wedged in there is what keeps him from falling out, which is crazy when you think about it. So I started thinking about this, and I'm like, man, this is just, there he is at the top. He stands at the top, 4 hours, no equipment, no safety gear, overlooking it. I don't know, guys. I mean, this just kind of like, these stories are inspiring to me. But if you guys are, you know, if you guys are anything like me, you probably wouldn't do that. But I'm going to say this to you. And I'm going to ask you in the chat, if you guys know, what do you think? You can just type in or leave a comment. And of course, you'll have my answer after you watch this video. But what is the one reason that maybe you're not succeeding with your business? And you can type it in the chat if you want. You can type it, you know, in the comments afterwards. Somebody says, "Hey, this might not be this crazy on Alex's part if he did the research." He did do the research. He had mapped out the route. He kept his. He made chalk marks for it. But let me explain something here, guys. There were times where he was on ledges a knuckle wide, literally holding on with just his fingertips, his entire body weight. There, he had to walk up a 600-foot section of this mountain using just his feet pressed against the glassy rock, which created like a, almost like a, not a suction, but like a enough friction that he wouldn't fall. Literally using his feet to climb because his hands were no good there because there was no handholds. I mean, this is a crazy climb. I mean, it is very, very difficult, very long. And obviously, you know, there's no margin for error, guys. So some of you guys are saying, you know, hey, laziness is the reason you're failing. Risk, sleep, all sorts of things. I'm going to tell you guys, and I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back to this in a second. I'm going to come back to this story in just a second. I'm going to tell you what I think the reason your eBay business is failing, and you know, failing means different things to different people. But for me, failure is not getting as much out of it as I have the potential to get. To me, that's some degree of failure. Now, no, we're all going to disagree about what that looks like. But I'm going to tell you why I think the one reason your eBay business is failing that maybe seems not, you know, that intuitive on the surface. And it's really simple. And it's one word: fear. It's fear. And you can talk about all these other things that'll happen, but really it's based in fear. I'm gonna show you this quote that Alex had, because guys, this goes to the heart. This goes to the heart of our selling. Let me go back to this for just one moment, and then we'll come back for good. But he said right here, I'm going to blow this up so you can see it, because somebody talked about how his brain might relate to fear. And he said this: with free soloing, obviously I know that I'm in danger, but feeling fearful while I'm up there is not helping me in any way. It's only hindering my performance, so I just set it aside and leave it be. Wow. Wow. I mean, that to me, guys, feeling fearful while I'm up there is not helping me anyway. So let me come back. So here's what I'm saying to you guys. I know, and some of you guys are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. I get that. But we all have these fears that we operate under. Real or imagined, it doesn't matter. Like, an imagined fear is really no different than a real fear, because they'll both have an effect on you. So this kid, this guy Alex, he's got this fear in the back of his brain that we all have. Hey, I really don't want to go into work today and die. And if I make a mistake at my job, which is climbing rock walls, there's a good chance I'm going to die. I'm going to be hurt, dismembered, just, you know, incapacitated, paralyzed, or dead. And that's it. You don't get another shot at it. It's over. One mistake, and that could be it. Now, most of us don't have that kind of ultimate danger hanging over our heads every day, but don't we all have like these other fears? Like, we have fears that we won't be successful. We have fear that we will be successful. We have a fear. I'm going to tell you some of mine here in a minute, but we have a fear. I wrote down a few. We list things and we're afraid it won't sell. Like, God, I'm going to list this item. I'm going to list this bottle of water, this case of water, but what if it doesn't sell? Well, what am I going to do then? Well, should I list something different? Should I go ahead and list it anyway? I'm not sure. So now the fear starts manifesting into paralysis. It starts manifesting into self-doubt. It starts manifesting all these different ways. And it all stems from fear, because we want things to turn out okay, right? I mean, we don't want to go to work and die. We don't want to put something up and list it and it not sell. We anticipate it will sell. That's the reason we put it up. And sometimes we don't even get that far. We say, I'm not even going to list that because that was a stupid thing to buy. It's probably not going to sell. And if I do sell it, I'm going to sell it for so low, I'm not going to make any money on it. All these things. Somebody I noticed said, hey, I have a fear of, I don't have a fear. It's just not enough hours in the day. I need to duplicate me. Right. But Melanie, I would argue that's a fear of figuring out a way to outsource part of what you need. I mean, there's ways around it. There's people who run this business with lots of work commitments to a full-time job or to their family. It all kind of stems back to a fear that you have that you can't make it work the way you want it to work, when you want it to work, how you want it to work. There's a fear we're going to get banned off of eBay or Amazon or Poshmark. We're going to do something wrong. We're going to screw it up. Somebody's going to say that we sold something that was counterfeit, and we're going to lose our selling privilege, and it's going to be horrible. It's going to be terrible, and then we're going to have to start all over, or if we can even start all over. There's a fear of negative feedback. What about if my buyers don't like what I send them? What if they tell me my pictures were bad? What if they tell me that my description was wrong? They tell me my pricing is not right. They're going to give me negative feedback, and then people aren't going to buy from me anymore. They're not going to like it, or more and more people are going to do that to me. There's a fear that I'm going to get scammed. They're going to send it back to me, and they're going to say something was wrong with it. They're going to send me a brick in a box, or they're going to say they never got it, and I'm going to have to eat the cost of it, and it's going to cost me more money. There's a fear I'm not going to make enough money. I'm not going to have enough. I'm going to sell some things, but it's not going to be enough things or the right things for the right amount of profit. Man, I'm telling you, it runs the gamut, this fear in the reselling business. And oh, I forgot a few. There's a fear that I'm not going to sell as much as Prof Sales. There's a fear that Prof Sales is not going to sell as much as Raiken Profit. There's a fear that Raiken Profit's not going to do as well as Bonafide Hustler. It's just fear. It's all these fears. And then once fear gets in and takes over, we start acting from a place of fear, or not acting. Sometimes that's what we do. We just don't do anything. We just get paralyzed. That tends to be my issue, by the way. And these fears come into our mind, and I think about that guy on the wall. I'm like, can you imagine if he's 1,000 feet up this 3,000-foot wall, and all of a sudden fear comes into his brain and starts paralyzing him? And he can't, and he's like, I can't find a handhold. I can't find a foothold. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go from here. Should I go back down? Should I keep going? This is terrible. What's going to happen? That could be life-threatening fear in his case. Now, most of us don't have that kind of fear in our everyday lives, but we have other very real fears about our success and failure that paralyze us, or even cause us to be mad, cause us to be anxious, cause us to be in a bad mood towards the people around us, cause us to do nothing, cause us to do something destructive, all kinds of things. And I got to tell you guys, fear has been the biggest reason that my business is not as good as it could be. Because it's not as good as it could be. I know it's not. Nobody needs to tell me. I can look at my numbers. I can look at my numbers versus myself, not compared to anybody else, but my numbers versus myself and what I'm doing and not doing. And I can tell you without a doubt, Prof Sales is not hitting it out of the park. Prof Sales is not hitting it, batting 1,000. Prof Sales is not doing everything he could be doing to improve his business. And I'm sure a lot of you listening are doing the same thing. But just like the guy on the wall, I want to kind of use that metaphor. Like, you're on the wall right now. You're on the wall. Or maybe you're just thinking about getting on the wall, the eBay wall, the reselling wall. But at some point, you got to get on the wall. And then what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're not likely to go back down the wall once you've come so far, whatever that point is for you. You got to figure out how to move forward on the wall, to move onward and upward. And it's going to be hard. And fear is going to be there every step of the way. I think it's interesting that he said, he didn't say, here's this guy who's got tremendous bravery, I would say. I mean, I know some of you would say it's craziness, and maybe it's that too. But he's brave enough to go up a 3,000-foot wall with no room for error, with no equipment. And he's telling us, I have fears. I have fears. But I cannot let them take over to the point they hinder my progress. They won't help me. They'll just harm me. So he's acknowledging it, and he's putting it aside. He's not saying it goes away. He's just saying, hey, I'm not going to let it paralyze me and keep me from getting to the top. I mean, it's an inspiring story. Like this guy too, if you look him up on YouTube, you can find a bunch of his other videos, and he definitely, man, he does some wild stuff climbing rocks. Even if you don't like that sort of thing, you gotta admit it's impressive. you know, here he is doing something that no one else has done. And I was thinking about it today. I thought, you know, if he gets to the end of his life and doesn't die falling off somewhere, God forbid, but if he gets to the end of his life and he looks back on all these accomplishments and things he's happened, I don't think that he's going to say climbing El Capitan for the first time, you know, free soloing. I don't think he'll say that's one of his greatest accomplishments necessarily. I don't think he'll say climbing these other rocks were his greatest accomplishments. I think what he's going to say is my greatest accomplishment is that I met my fears head on and I didn't let them control me. I overcame them. I didn't eliminate them, but I overcame them. I did not let them stop me from being successful. And I think that's a great lesson, you know, to take out of this. Like, what fears do you have right now, and how can you take them on head on? Don't let them control you. Don't let them stop you from getting the results that, you know, you can get. And I would say for me, you know, my fears are, I fear low sales. Low sales are not really a fear. I fear what will happen because of the low sales, that I will not have the money to pay my bills and be able to support myself and my family. I think that's a pretty common fear. But I realize what that comes from is that there's always a little part of me that thinks what I'm doing is not the right thing. I'm not doing the right thing right now. I'm not sourcing the right item. I'm not listing it for the right price. It kind of comes back to, it's a fear that I'm not doing it right. And it manifests itself as, well, I'm going to get low sales because I'm doing all these things wrong, or I'm not doing these things correctly, whatever. So I just have to I have to trust in the process. I have to trust that what I'm doing will show results. It might not be in the time or the manner that I think it will happen. And if it doesn't show the results in the time and manner that I need, then I can adjust. It's not the end of the world. It's like you put something up on eBay, you list something, you list it for a certain price, you put certain photos in it, you put certain item specifics, and maybe it doesn't sell. You can change it. You can take it down, put something else in its place. You could donate it. You could sell it on some other platform. There's all kinds of solutions to all these fears. So I realize that my fear of low sales is not really the low sales. It's just based in the fear that I'm not doing the right thing or the right set of things. And I don't know, maybe you guys have the same thing. But you know, I think we all have those fears as resellers. And I don't know. I just think that you can't live in fear. I mean, you're going to have fear, and it's going to hold you back to some degree when you focus on it. But I heard this technique once that said, and I may have shared this before, it said when you have a negative thought, or maybe in this case a fear come in your brain, you need to kind of mold it, like literally sit there in your brain and think about it and mold it into a balloon. A balloon that's floating, and then watch as it floats away from you. Literally, this fear. It kind of works. I know it sounds kind of hokey, but it actually kind of works, guys. So try it if you get a chance. Like, take a moment to meditate on it and think about, what is it that really is paralyzing me right now with fear, and I'm going to turn it into a balloon in my mind and watch it float away. I know you're probably like, Prof is getting all like new age on us or something, which I'm really not, but I think it does work. But anyway, if you guys, you know, I think it's a great topic, guys, this topic of fear and why you might be failing and how it's contributing to your failure. And please know, I don't mean failure in the sense that you are a failure or that, you know, you will fail forever. It's just that you're not getting what you think you should be able to get, and you have some opportunity to improve. We all have opportunity to improve. So anyway, share that with me if you want in the chat. Lots of people in here today, 100 people. So thank you guys for that, man. That is awesome. Please smash the like button too if you're enjoying the content. I'm going to try to catch up on some of these questions, if I can. Somebody says they like New Age. All right. Let's see here. What is going on in the chat? You have to wait for the right person to see your item and purchase it. You don't have any control over it, and that is why people say fear. Yeah, that's true. Once you put it out there, you don't have any control over when the right person comes and buys it, guys. That's exactly right. Let's see. Prof, the guy who did that t-shirt needs to seriously get veroed. What, the t-shirt I'm wearing? The Wahlburgers t-shirt? Is that the shirt you're talking about? I don't know if that's the one you're talking about or not, but this actually came from a Wahlburgers restaurant. So pretty sure it's legit. So we'll see. Actually, Karen picked this up for me. She was up in New England several months ago, and her and her friend went to a Wahlburgers, and she brought me back this shirt. So stole the logo from Werder Bremen. Hey, talk to Mark Wahlberg and Donnie Wahlberg. I got nothing to do with it. Let's see. You can do it, Prof. List. Yeah, and you're right, Leisure. And that's what everybody in this community says when people sales are so, oh, you got to list. And that is a necessary component. But there's other components to it too, right? I mean, what you're buying, what you're listing, and for what, your pricing strategy, your photos. I mean, you need to list smart. You need to list, always with an eye towards the customer, the consumer, what they're looking for. Like my friend Luke today asked, hey, he posted on his Instagram, Endless Entrepreneurs, hey, what do you think of this jean shot? And he tagged me in the post, and it was a jean shot of a pair of Big Star jeans, and it showed the logo, and it showed kind of the iconic Big Star logo. And that's a good photo to lead with. I mean, people look for that. They know that logo, who are Big Star fans, and it's a great shot. On the other hand, if you just showed, say, like the button, that might not be that great. So you've got to list, but list smart, and always look to refine your listing process and become more efficient, do better listings, all those things. Let's see. Krillin is on this logo. Man, I don't know what to tell you, man. Just talk to Wahlburgers. Flip Flop says, some point you need to stop thinking and just get to work. Well, of course. I mean, I don't think that I'm overthinking anything here. We're doing a show, so obviously there's going to be some thinking involved. But, mindlessly working with no strategy doesn't make sense. I could go list, $6 bin items all day long, but I'm not going to make any money on them. So there's no reason to just list if you're listing something that's not really that you're going to put so much time and energy to for so little return. And that doesn't make sense. So you've got to have some sort of strategy that's guiding, your tactics. So it's all part of it. Let's see here. Hello, Pickers. Is someone actually asking about Faded Glory? That's going to be pretty funny. 10K on the base here. What's up, Chris? Prof, do you have a minimum profit goal on a bin item? We're not really sourcing a lot of bin items other than jeans and shoes right now. So, but normally, I would want to make at least probably $7 before my labor cost on it would kind of be my rough estimate. Because I look at it like you're going to put $2 worth of labor into it, even if it's your own labor. And for most of us, it is, no matter what. And so only at least $5, and you still got some tax liability too. Plus, things aren't going to sell. Some things are going to be damaged. It's not even really $5 you're getting. So I would do that. Krillin says GSP versus international first class going to Australia. 2 pounds was $23, $36 in global shipping. Hey, that's a big difference, Krillin. That's probably worth it. I need to look into that a little more closely. I'm glad you brought that up, Krillin. I sold a pair of shoes the other day, guys. Oh man, I like global shipping. Don't misunderstand what I'm about to say. I like global shipping, the global shipping program on eBay. And I think it's a great way to get started in expanding your market out to other countries. But I sold a pair of shoes the other day that were on sale for like 20 bucks plus the shipping. And the shipping was like 7 something. They were just a tad over 2 pounds, so they wouldn't quite fit in that 1 to 2 pounds. But they sold to somebody, I think they were in Russia. And so I sent them, GSP, which means they go to Kentucky, and then eBay tags on the customs and handles all that part of it and sends it on to them. Now, granted, it's just over 2 pounds, but the shipping, I only got $7.42, 62 cents. The total shipping was 50 bucks on this $20 pair of shoes. So they ended up paying like $70 for them. I actually felt kind of bad. And I know eBay takes a cut. I mean, eBay is going to charge you charge the customer a processing fee to process that item. I wonder if in that case, like, could I have charged that buyer, say, because the actual shipping part of it minus eBay's fee was probably like 38 maybe to get it there. eBay might have charged about 12 bucks for processing and so on. Could we have charged 45 bucks and got it to them a little cheaper? I don't know. I mean, that seemed really expensive to me. $50 to ship something to Russia, like just over 2 pounds, but it is what it is. Let's see. Do you use multiple eBay accounts for selling? We do. I'm going to talk about one other topic too, just for a minute, guys. And I hesitate to talk about this one because it'll probably get me in trouble, which never stopped me before. Sorry, that was probably really loud. The bottle popped. Some of you guys know there's been some, there was kind of a big controversy in reseller land, and between a couple other resellers, not specifically between them, but more between like people who watched one versus one who watched another. And I'm not going to go in and rehash the whole incident. And quite honestly, I don't know the whole incident. I don't see everything. But I just want to say, guys, as a rule, my channel here, I review comments that come in. I review them because I was starting to see just enough negativity coming through in comments, sometimes directed at me, sometimes directed at other viewers, that I decided to review every comment that came in. And I just decided that I didn't want that on this channel. Now, some people are going to say, because that was one of the issues with this whole thing about, who was commenting on whose video and what have you. Some people would say, well, it's freedom of speech and blah, blah, blah. People should be able to say what they want. And you're right. You absolutely have the freedom of speech. What you do not have is the right to say what you want anywhere and any time, in any place. That you do not have a right to, not in this country, not in any country. For instance, you have the right to petition government for a redress of grievances. There's the poli-sci professor in me coming out on the First Amendment, right? The right to peacefully assemble and petition the government for a redress of grievances. It says it right there in the Constitution. You do not have the right to do that at 3 o'clock in the morning right outside the mayor's house. You don't. And nor do you have the right to come on someone else's private channel and blast away whatever you think is appropriate. You don't. You don't have a right to that. So I fully support any reseller, no matter who they are, no matter my relationship with them or not. And I really don't have much relationship with that many resellers, honestly, anyway, that produce content on YouTube. If they want to disable content or comments or whatever, they can do it, and they should do it. I mean, there's only so far, guys, that you have an in into my life, into Karen's life. And by the way, on that, I have a zero tolerance policy for anything said towards Karen. that's a zero. I mean, there's no strikes on that or anything. Like anybody says anything that's, you know, derogatory or vulgar or anything like that towards Karin, permanent ban from the channel. No second chance. So me, I have a little more of a thicker skin, but on her, it's like, this is my channel. She comes on here and she's gracious enough to come on here and be a part of it a lot of times. But because of that, she doesn't deserve any grief from anybody. And speaking of Karin, there she is. But I just make sure that, you know, this channel stays a positive place so that you guys can come into the comments and not get blasted by other people. So I do review comments before I post them, just so you know. And so if you post a comment that never gets put up, chances are I deleted it. Maybe I deleted an error. Maybe I didn't. You know, and if anybody ever has an issue with that, feel free to reach out to me and I'll be glad to explain that, hey, that wasn't positive and that was, and I don't mean it has to be positive towards me. You don't have to be like, yeah, Prof, everything you say is right. You can absolutely have a difference of opinion with me. I encourage that. But the way in which you deliver it matters. The tone, the words you use matters. Words have meanings. They're not just meaningless. And they lead to people thinking things, and thinking things turns into doing things sometimes. So I have a real fine filter for comments. And I just wanted to put that out there because I know there's just been some negativity, you know, again, in reseller land and content creator land. And I get that. But I don't have any tolerance or patience for it here, guys. If that's what you want to read or that's what you want to post, there's plenty of places on the internet you can go and knock yourself out. All the keyboard warriors that are out there. But it's not going to happen here. So, and that's just who I am. You know, life is hard. We all have these fears, as we just talked about. We all have these things that, you know, nag at us and wonder if we can make it or do it right or do it well enough. We don't need other people projecting all their negativity onto us. That's not helpful. It's not constructive. It does not advance the conversation at all. It does not advance anyone's knowledge or help them become better at their craft. All it really does is make people defensive, want to run away, or get angry. None of those things are good for a YouTube channel. I know that a lot of people like to come on and see the drama. And I guess drama is entertaining to some people, but I don't have any patience for it. And so I'm just not going to allow it. So again, if you don't see your comment here after you've commented, that's probably what happened. I probably just deleted it. And if it's really bad, I just banned you. So, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, Karin says we don't watch the the news either. Yeah, it's hard to watch the news and stay positive about the world, humanity, the other people in this country or countries you're in, the other people in countries around the world. It would be hard to watch the news. If the news was your only source of information, it would be very difficult to have a positive outlook on life. So I made the decision many, many months ago. I just don't do it. I mean, I will tangentially hear things, you know, that come to me through the ether, but I don't get involved in it. I don't read it. I don't watch it. We don't even have cable TV right now. We got rid of that, just internet. We're like, you know what? We don't even hardly ever watch anything we want. We can see on demand. Just no place for it, guys. And this channel is no place for it either. So, yeah, everybody's attacking the news. It's like, yeah, it makes you wonder, like, how so many people are so hypercritical of the news, but man, they sure do watch it. It's crazy. So anyway, I've recommended you guys before too, if you want to be a positive person and live your life with, you know, a lot of positivity towards yourself and other people around you, turn off the news. That's a good step. I'm telling you, try for 30 days and see if it doesn't change no reading the internet either. That would count. But turn it off for a month and see what happens. Krellin says, I think the news is a bigger reason people are failing and reselling in fear. Well, Krellin, you have a great point that the news unfortunately operates in I don't know what the right word I'm looking for is. They operate in this place of fear, and they tend to push that on their audience. If they can make you afraid of something, you need to keep coming back so you can find out if there's anything else you can be afraid of or how afraid you need to be. So it gets ratings, and they know that. They're not stupid. So it's become less about any sense of objectivity and more about telling a story and delivering a narrative that you will like. So we just turned it off. Let's see here. Silver dollar words every day. What? He busts. Oh, sorry. Let's see. What other questions you guys have too? If you have other questions, leave them in the chat. Question mark, or type the word question. It can be about anything, obviously. Let's see. Someone says news depresses me. I know, right? Isn't that weird? It's like it depresses you, and yet it makes you want to keep coming back to it. I mean, that's kind of genius. You know, it's like alcohol. It dehydrates you. So what do you want to do? Drink more. You know, I mean, that's very clever when you think about it, but not good for you, for sure. Let's see. Yeah, somebody was asking about merch. So we've been selling on merch, guys. I've uploaded a couple designs on my own now. You know, they're okay. I am not the most graphically talented. Okay, let's back up. I'm not a graphically talented person, period. But I have found, guys, here's a little tip for you. So Illustrator is a great program, no doubt about it. We have a copy of it. Karin has been learning some great things with it. However, it does have a learning curve for sure. So I kind of found a hack yesterday that is helpful. So if any of you guys are doing merch or you want to make designs, you can use Canva, which I use to make all the thumbnails you see for this channel and other graphics. You can use Canva to create images for merch. You have to get the business edition, which I believe costs, you get 30 days free, and I think it costs about 12 bucks a month after that. But you have to get the business edition to use images that have a transparent background, because merch needs a transparent background, or else your image will just be a big block on the shirt. So check that out. Canva is actually an easier tool, I think, in some ways. It's nowhere near the robust options that you have with Illustrator. Don't get me wrong. I'm not suggesting that. But if you're kind of a merch neophyte, it's an easy way to sort of get your feet wet, and you can figure it out fairly quickly. So I threw a design up yesterday with them. So we'll see how it goes. But Illustrator is kind of like for pros. If you want to be a pro, I don't mean you have to be a pro to use it, but if you want to be a pro at design, Illustrator is great. Photoshop as well. They're same company. But I would definitely check out Canva for a quick way to do merch. Someone says, I got 75 pair of vintage soft style hush puppies in a box. No comps, no sales on some. So old. What do you do for pricing? Huh. That's interesting. Well, if they're new, I don't know what you paid for them, so it's a little tricky to give this advice. But just in general, if they're a new shoe, and you have no comps to go by, or nothing even similar, I'd probably start them out about 25 bucks, quite honestly, because you're going to find people who will pay $25 for a new pair of shoes. I'm assuming they're new, but I'm not sure if they are or not. I can't tell from your question. And that may be too high. You can always put best offer, and you can even put 30 and put a best offer and take a best offer maybe of 20. But I think you can always look to sell shoes that are new for $25 to $30. And if they're used, if they're pre-owned, maybe lower depending on what brands they are, but I wouldn't start them any lower than that. Melissa says you need a font to upload, or you need a business to upload certain fonts too. Oh, thanks, Melissa. I did not know that with Canva, but Canva is a cool little program, guys. If you've never used it, check it out. Canva.com. It's CANVA. Charlie Alpha, whatever N is, Victor Alpha.com. I don't know my military designations very well. Never heard back from merch. Yeah, it can take a while to get approved. I can't remember that name. But just hang in there. It can take months sometimes now to get approved. It took me months. I had completely forgotten about it. Then all of a sudden I got approved. Just one day out of the blue, like, I don't know. It's like a spot opens up. They only want to have so many people doing it, and they're gauging it. And then like you're on a waiting list, and then some spots open up, and people are no longer doing it, or they think they can expand, and they open up some spots, and then you get in, and then they close. I don't know how they do it. Nancy. Thank you. Nancy would have been a good one. Is it really Nancy though? It seems weird for a military one when you got like Alpha and Bravo and Charlie. But maybe it's Nancy. All right, November. That sounds better. Let's see. Sadie, what's up, Sadie? Haven't seen you in a while. Merch is taking up to 8 months still. Yeah, actually Karin applied. I don't know if she's still in the chat. Karin applied a few weeks ago, but you know, we've heard nothing, and so it'll be interesting to see if they do, considering we'll have the same address here. You know, it's all coming out of the same address. But yeah, merch, guys, is a great way to earn passive income. If you've got any kind of desire to create print-on-demand items, I would go with merch and apply now, because it's still new. I mean, it's only a year and a half old or so. You know, we're 10 years in to say something like Amazon FBA, but merch is still relatively new. And there's room to grow in it for sure. You're opening yourself up to millions and millions of Amazon customers. It's not complicated. You can change your pricing to control your payout. You can even print cool things like with private links. If you wanted to do something for like a team or a group in your hometown, you can do that, which is pretty cool. You don't have to open up for everybody. But, you know, just go ahead and apply if you know, you get a chance. It just takes a few moments to apply, and then just forget about it, and they'll let you know. Hopefully. Although I have heard people that have applied and then not realized they were approved. So it's not a bad idea that even if you've applied and it's been a little while, try to log in and see if you're approved. You might be. Maybe you just missed the email. So I've heard of that happening to people. I don't know if it was that they missed the email, or the email went to spam, or they never got it, or who knows. But it's a process, guys, and they're not going to open it up to everybody all at once. They're just dribs and drabs. So, you know, if it interests you at all, creating a product where you don't have to carry inventory, you don't have to buy inventory, it's sort of fire and forget. You can scale it up. Once they tier you up, you can get scaled up to a huge volume. You know, Glenn, we had on the show a couple months ago, Glenn Zubia has, I think he's at the 8,000 tier. So he could have as many as 8,000 designs up. He doesn't. I think he has a couple thousand, but he's making great income with it. You know, something's old. So he's making like $50,000, $60,000 a year clear from merch. And, you know, you can, I mean, it's about as passive as it gets, guys. You create the design, you upload it, you put in your keywords, your description, all that good stuff, and then you're done. Like, there's no reason to go back in and reevaluate it. You don't have to put it on. You can do sales, but you don't have to put it on sale. But yeah, so it's definitely a very, I don't know if it's the most passive method of income out there, but it's pretty good. Considering you can sort of fire and forget, and you can scale it, which is what I really love about it. I mean, eBay is a tougher business to scale than something like merch, for instance, for sure. because as you get more and more tiers, you get more and more listings that you're able to put up. You're going to get lucky on some of those listings, and they're going to sell. And some of them might sell steady, and some might sell in the moment if they're more topical. They're based around a specific trend that's happening right now. But merch is a good thing to check out, so highly recommend it. Dee says, hey, how are you handling your designs being stolen? Well, it is what it is. I could go and, because some of you know that we had the Prof Math design stolen and, copied on a bunch of other sites. I could go after all those people, send them messages, but it's like, how much time am I going to spend doing that? I don't know. I'm not really that worried about it, Dee. I was at first a little bit, but now it's kind of like, it's going to happen. As long as it's not happening on Amazon itself, that would be concerning, and sometimes that happens. But we're not going to go crazy on it. Where do you go to register? You can go to, if you type in merch by Amazon, Melissa, in Google, it'll pop up the link to the merch Amazon page. I don't know the URL right off the top of my head, and it has a sign up link on the first page. So there you go. What's the best way to learn keywords for merch? I'll let you know when I figure that out. I'm telling you guys, I am a noob when it comes to this merch thing, but I see the potential to have a nice secondary revenue stream that could provide, thousands of dollars a month in extra revenue, and that's nothing to sneeze at. If you told me I can put up 1,000 designs and make $100 a month, I'd say, probably not that interested. But if you tell me I could have 1,000 designs up and maybe make $3,000-4,000 a month, that's going to capture my interest, because I see potential there. I don't have to manage it. I just have to keep designs kind of rolling in every once in a while as other designs fall out. Yeah, yeah, I was upset at first about that design being stolen, but it's going to happen, and yeah, we use Merch Informer as well for keyword research. I am just starting to scratch the surface on Merch Informer, so I don't want to come on here and say, hey, do this or do that with it, guys, because I don't really know that much about Merch Informer yet, but I think it has pretty good potential as a program from what I can see. I had a little issue getting it set up, which is not really that relevant to this conversation, but it is set up and working fine now. But at first I had a one thing, guys, about Merch Informer, I'm going to tell you, if you have an Amazon Associates account that you're earning, associates revenue with, like I do, like in the description of this video, guys, you will see links to a lot of the equipment that we use and products we use. And if you go to those links and buy something, if you buy that item, or literally if you buy anything on Amazon within 24 hours of going to that link, I get a small commission. It doesn't cost you any extra money. It's not added on to your bill or anything like that. It's basically like an advertising fee that the seller of the item is, they're paying for advertising. But if you have one of those associate accounts and you go to sign up for Merch Informer, make sure you use the same account you already have. I at first had 2 different emails, and it was causing all sorts of problems with getting my token that you have to create through Amazon's web service to talk to Merch Informer correctly and connect back to the associates account. So, and Amazon, I'm told, does not really like you to have more than one associates account. I don't know if that's true, but it kind of sounds right with the way Amazon operates with a lot of this stuff. So I'm going to go on that assumption. So make sure that if you have an associates account and you want to sign up for Merch Informer, try to use that associates account, that little your associate's name. You'll know what I'm talking about if you have one of those accounts. So yeah, who steals Prof Math? Yeah, I know, right? Prof, do you have product links for eBay items? Not yet, Krillin. I will say that I just listed an item and I used their promoted listings to advertise it, and it sold. It was an expensive item. I had 2 of them. You have to have, from best I can tell, you have to have at least 2 of an item to use their promoted listings, and you set an ad budget, which is basically just a percentage of the sale. And my understanding is the more percentage you let eBay have of the sale, the more often and widespread they promote the listing, the less. So makes sense. I think I gave them like 4.8% of the sale extra or something like that. But the item sold, and it sold within 2 or 3 days of promoting it. And it had been setting for probably a month or so, or maybe even longer. Maybe it would have sold anyway, maybe not. But they say that it sold through one of the listings, one of the advertisements somewhere else on the website. So eBay promoted listings, guys, if you have some multi-quantity items, something to check out. I was skeptical, but you know, it was a nice sale. It was a $110 sale. So I was pretty happy with that. How to apply for a merch account. Just Google, Karen, just Google Amazon merch by Amazon, and then go to the site, that first page that comes up, and it'll tell you right on the page how to log in. I don't have the URL right here on me. How does that promoted listing work? I thought you can do on used items. Well, my item was new, and I'm not sure if you can do it on pre-owned items or not, Krillin, maybe, but I'm pretty certain you have to have at least 2 of the item, which I did. The bad thing is the item I sold, guys, I still sold at a little bit of a loss, which sucks really bad. When I bought it, it was selling on Amazon really well. And for whatever reasons, I think some people came in on the ASIN and tanked the listing, and mine did not sell. And had it sold, I would have made, you know, like a 45% margin on a good profit. But now it's like it tanked, and on eBay it's even lower. So I'm like, God, I just got to get money back out of this dumb thing. And I got 2 of them. So it is what it is. Yeah, Jennifer Leland posted the link, merch.amazon.com. For those of you guys who don't see the chat, merch.amazon.com. Maybe I can type that. I'm pretty sure I can type it. Just won't let you guys share a link necessarily. Well, it doesn't come up as a link, but there it is in the chat. Yeah, Janetta says, I didn't realize you get a tiny percentage even if I purchase something else from Amazon. Only take a second to click on your link, then go buy whatever I want to buy. You're right. That is the way it works. It's like for 24 hours, Janetta. So any link that you click on, an associate's link, like the ones I have in my description, and a lot of resellers use these, guys. This is a way, I'm going to say this. This is a way, guys, if you like somebody on YouTube, a lot of you guys like my channel, which I really appreciate, and you want to help that person out, and you've got some shopping to do on Amazon anyway, go to their description, click on one of their Amazon associate links, and then go buy whatever you want. As long as you buy it within 24 hours, we still get credit we get a commission, which is really cool. And so it tells me at the end of it, or during each month, like what I got the commissions on and what they were. And they're often not the products I have listed in my description. You know, it's a big, long list now at this point. I don't know, it's got to be a couple hundred items now at least. So yeah, it's a cool way to help out your favorite YouTubers, and it costs you nothing. Nothing if you're going to go buy an item anyway. And of course, if you want to get, you know, some of the equipment that we're using and that we list in our associates links, that's cool too. We don't get anything extra. It's still just a commission base. It's a small commission. It's like 4% or 3% on a lot of the stuff. It's not huge, but it adds up. So great way to help out your favorite YouTubers, and doesn't cost you anything. You know, that it's money you were going to spend anyway. So there's my push for all the great YouTubers out there. Let's see. Oh, so Melissa signed up for merch. Nice. Great. Let us know if you get in, Melissa. It'll probably be a while, though. What does Amazon think is a copy? Can you use a phrase you've seen or heard but make the shirt design look different? Shred, you have to go and check to see if that phrase is copyrighted, and it might be. There's a couple sites, trademark.com, which you can type in the exact phrase and see if it comes up. And if it's being used for clothing, you cannot use it. You also want to check out the United States Patent and Trademark Office, which is uspto.gov, I believe. Search for the trademark on there. You'll go through the test search system and search for the trademark and see if it's up. Even if it's abandoned, you still may not be able to use it there. But yeah, if it's a registered trademark, you absolutely do not want to use it. It's a great way to get banned off of merch. It's someone else's intellectual property, basically, and you can't use it without their permission. So, but if you've seen a phrase and you want to use it, just research it. You know, and guys, even if you can't use it, like if you pull up a phrase and it's, you know, Nike, I think has "just do it" trademarked, I believe, but you might be able to use, you know, a different word in there, like "just did it." I don't know. I don't know if that's possible. That might be trademark too. I'm saying there's ways to change it and make it your own. And, you know, to be careful. You don't want to knock them off. It's got to be different and distinct, but at the same time, it might be similar to a point where it'll make sense. Let's see. Do you have to be a seller on Amazon.com and have a certain level? Nope, you don't. Let's see. You can create an eBay associate link and click it before you buy and get the commission yourself. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'd be very cautious about doing things like that. I'm pretty certain you can on Amazon. eBay, maybe you can, but I wouldn't do it unless you know for a fact. It's not worth like saving an extra few percentage points to jeopardize your account. So be really sure before you do stuff like that, guys. Check the terms of service. I don't really know. I wouldn't do it anyway, just out of, I don't know. I just wouldn't do it. Let's see. I don't want to give an example, but there's a popular phrase that the uspto.gov site says there's no patent. Well, it'd actually be a trademark. It would not be a patent. It would be a trademark. A patent's different. Patent's like an invention. But yeah, so it's possible it's usable, Shred Guy. Merch Informer will help you with that too. It searches through those. Yeah, it's from a very popular TV show, but not part of the name. Yeah, and that could be, Shred, and people do that all the time. But I'm going to tell you this. So let's say Shred, you use this trademarked or this non-trademarked phrase from a TV show. Fair enough. But if you put that TV show in the description or the keywords, they're going to flag it. Like if you make reference, if you try to make it seem like you are connected to that TV show in your keywords or your description, Amazon will flag it. 100%, guarantee you. And you will not be able to use it. You can do it, but you cannot make it seem like you're associated with that show. So that might change whether or not you do it, potentially, because you can't make those linkages in the keywords and description. So be careful with that, because that happened to us. I wonder if knockoffs cheapen the name and product itself, give it a bad reputation. I'm not sure. Maybe. I mean, they probably do. Amazon's got a lot of problems with those right now with knockoffs, and you know. Let's see. What did I miss? Can we start over? What's up, Ronnie Hart? Yeah, Krillin says he put Mad Men style in an eBay listing, got veroed. Yep. Can't do it, guys. Like they're gonna say you're trying to say you're associated with that brand or that particular product, and you're not. You don't have the right to it, so you can't use it. We did it with a Saturday Night Live thing, and we put the word Saturday and night in it, not live, but we did that and they took it down. So it happens. Let's see. Why don't you mention are using elsewhere? Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. How you doing? Is it that? People are trying to figure out what the Shred guy's phrase is. Shred, you shouldn't have said anything. Just act like you don't even have a phrase now. Somebody's going to figure it out. But I mean, you know, the cool thing you can do though, guys, with merch is you can take a phrase or something and you can rework it into something that's yours. There's also that you can use certain sayings and quotations a long time ago and then put those in some context with maybe a photo that you have the rights to use, like a free image. Those can be popular too. So we've explored lots of different things. We're still, I don't even think I'm an amateur at merch. I'm not even that high yet. I mean, it's like we are like nobody when it comes to it, but I think there's great potential there. I'm going to make a Hearts Pickers shirt and put Ronnie's face on it in outline. What do you think, Ronnie? Can I sell that, man? Can I get permission right here? Can you give me copyright or trademark rights right here in the chat? I think that sounds pretty good. Where's the beef? Yeah. I don't think you're gonna be able to use that. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not trademarked. Who knows? Could be. But guys, if your phrase is trademarked and just don't use it. It's not worth. I mean, if merch, once they find out that you're using something trademarked, not only will they pull it down, they might ban you and they can hold your funds. So it's not even like you get your money. So it's just not worth it. 10K on the Bay said he already put Ronnie's face on a shirt. It sells like crazy. Who's buying them all, Gretchen? I mean, really, come on. The Ronnie Hart shirt. How did we get on this topic? Man, I think I started something here. Yeah, but there's a lot of great shirt ideas out there, guys. And if you've got any kind of, I always tell Karin, like, she's the better with the graphic part of it. I'm better with like coming up with kind of the idea and the slogan, although she's pretty good at that too, honestly. But that's kind of like what a partnership we've sort of formed, and you can do that too. You can also hire people, guys, to design or to make a design for you. I don't know if it's really worth it or not. I haven't done it. I don't think I have any frame of reference really to give you guys. And I hear that people charge, you know, you can get like the $5 designs on Fiverr, but I hear they're not very good. You're going to get crap. So, but I hear people say sometimes for 10 or 20 bucks for design. But here's the thing. You need to probably sell like 3 shirts at 20 bucks to even break even. So I don't know that that's always going to be worth it. But you can go that way. I would recommend trying your own designs at first, your own. You can just do text designs, you know, you can do text and just do with words and just play around with fonts and spacing and sizing, and then just sort of grow as you get better with your skills and get a little more comfortable with the platform. Somebody says Grease is the word. They're going to watch Grease tonight. Well, thanks for sharing. So Grease is a great movie. You could probably pull some stuff out of Grease, I bet, but be careful. Yeah, and don't pull out song lyrics either, guys. Song lyrics are a no-no. You can pull like a tiny chunk of a song lyric sometimes, but man, if it's real tricky. Like all this trademark stuff is kind of like they know it when they see it in terms of the infringement a lot of times. Song titles I don't think can be trademarked usually because they're, you know, a little too common. Like you can't, I don't think Stairway to Heaven is trademarked, but if you start using the lyrics from Stairway to Heaven, yeah, that's not going to work. So just be really careful how you made much money on merch. Nope, not yet. We've made, I don't know, $200-300 bucks. I mean, it hasn't been a lot yet, but we don't have a lot of shirts up either. We only have like 23 designs, 24 designs. What your shirts say? Wahlburgers. And don't even ask Krillin, Ronnie Hart. He'll get mad. He thinks this has been ripped off from somebody. I told him it's an original design from the restaurant, but he's like, they ripped off somebody's design. So, I don't know. Krillin can fill you in on that. I'm not sure what's going on there. All right, guys. Well, listen, that's going to do it for today. We've been over an hour, so thank you guys for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Please hit the like button on the way out the door. Check out those associate links in the description if you want to see what equipment we use, or even if you just want to go shop on Amazon. Yes, I am telling you to go to those links and go to Amazon and buy something from there. Even if it's not our stuff, it still helps us out. And that's how you can help out any YouTube reseller who's got content. If they've got associate links, go to those links, use that to shop on Amazon. As long as you buy within 24 hours, they will still get credit for it. It helps them out, and we do appreciate it. All right, but leave me a comment down below, and we'll be back tomorrow. My plan is to give you a shoe update, episode 2 of the shoes tomorrow. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Don't let fear paralyze you today. Acknowledge it, manage it, see it as a balloon, and let it float away, right? That's what we talked about. Thanks, guys. Love you, and I'll see you.